And it definitely is a sellout. We understand the tickets are being scalped for as high as $1,500 a piece for some of those club level seats. Elaine Crosby, LPGA star, lives in Jackson, but is a University of Michigan fan through and through, very often wearing maize and blue, and she's on the other end of our line. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
Well, fun.
How's Sparty this morning?
You know what? That's a good question. I didn't drive by there, but I presume they guard him even on the road games like that instead of the home games. What do you think of the new Michigan Stadium?
Oh, the stadium's great. Now, I haven't changed seats. I still have my same seats, so I'm kind of a spectator looking up at those boxes, but they look pretty nice, and the people that are using them think they're great. So. Yeah. We haven't had a rainy day yet, so I'm sure when that day comes, I'll be looking up there going,
Now, you didn't drive to Lansing and throw any blue paint at the Sparty statue, did you?
No, I wouldn't do anything like that.
I'm sure you wouldn't do that, but there are people who would. Most people, even though the betting line now, I understand, is Michigan by 4.5, and everyone that we've talked to this morning is picking the Wolverines. I presume you would pick the Wolverines as well.
Well, of course, I would have to pick them first, but I think it's going to be a close game. I don't know how they can. Yeah, I never understand the spreads anyways. Anytime I've ever bet anyone on a game, it's never worked in my favor. So I think I would just call it even. There's so much hype going on right now. I mean, that was the number one thing on the 11 o'clock news last night was the game. Yeah. And I think it's great. It's great for Michigan, and it gets everybody all excited right now.
You know, the fascinating storylines, too, to have both teams 5-0, and you made a good point. It's great for the state. We like to feel proud about things. We've been a little bit downtrodden lately. We have two 5-0 teams ranked in the top 20 going at each other. It's going to be a festival around that place. I imagine people will be tailgating from probably 7 in the morning until the 3:30 kickoff. And
yeah, that's a scary thing, too, because then they come in and they're a little... let's say they're a little happy. But, yeah, we're planning on getting there we're going to get there about 12:30 because we figure traffic's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, and I'll be there, too. I think I'm going to get there about noon and just hang around and soak it all in, literally and figuratively, as you suggest. But the storylines, Mark D'Antonio, after having a heart attack, returning to the game, coaching from the press box. You can't make this stuff up. Denard Robinson, a national star, 3-1 to win the Heisman Trophy. You've got all the elements for a fantastic showdown.
Yeah, I think it is. And, of course, you have just the emotion of having, a coach go through that is got to be motivating for the Michigan State team. But I'll tell you what, when Denard went down at the last home game on the sideline, you heard a really loud gasp from the crowd. So, that's always, I think we live in kind of that little bit of tension that we hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, I was there for that game too, and I just, if he goes down, it's almost like people expect the Michigan bubble to burst.
And I don't think Forcier, we got to remember last year, he had a pretty good, as quarterback, he did okay. And he's a year older, and last year he's a true freshman trying to, manage a team that was obviously not that good. So I think that he can step in if need be. I think he's more motivated now as the season's gone on that there will be a role for him. So I don't think we have to worry quite as much, but we do lose. With Shaw back, will help a lot, having somebody else in the backfield besides Robinson that can really take off, too.
Where does Elaine Crosby sit in the big house?
I sit in Section 22, which is about the 45-yard line, about row 37. So if anybody's looking for me, you can just find me amongst the crowd there. I got a brat waiting for you tomorrow, too, if you want to come by.
Yeah, where's your tailgate?
We park in a lot that we've parked in for, I think, the lot. I have going to take a clipping I found in my parents' things. It's called Tiny's Lot, and it's across from Pioneer High School on Stadium.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We've parked there for, I don't know. I've been going to the games for about, then I give away how old I am, but more than 40 years.
Wow.
And we've had these same seats, and we parked in the same parking lot. And it's a lot of Jackson people, but we have a few from around, too, there. But it's fun because we all, for the most part, the same people park next to me for I don't know how many years. So
Well,
it's
we'll
fun.
see you in Tiny's lot for a brat tomorrow then before the game.
You got it.
A brat and a beer, you promise?
I've got plenty of that too.
Okay.
I'll even have some red wine if you need that.
Hot dog. Elaine Crosby, LPGA star. And by the way, LPGA winner Christy Kerr shot 7 under par 65 yesterday. She
Not
has
bad.
a one-stroke lead over Morgan Pressel and Dorothy DeLassen and the Navistar Dellison. And,
There you go.
Anna Nordquist.
Yeah, Nordquist.
See,
Yeah, but the other news, too, is Brian Stewart from Jackson is tied for 11th going into the second round at the PGA tournament, and he's trying to keep his card. He's 149th on the money list, so this Fall Classic series, or whatever they call it, he's trying to move up to that top 125 to stay exempt for next year.
You see that? You thought the golf season was over. Forget about it. Now we get the guys who are really hungry, who are trying to earn their way back on next year. And
Yeah, I got 2 more tournaments yet this year.
Oh, do you really? Where are you going?
In October, we have a Legends Tour event in Hawaii.
Not bad.
And then in November, we have one down at Innisbrook in Tarpon Springs.
Oh, you hang around some pretty good spots.
Well, I am a professional.
Elaine Crosby, we'll see you at the Michigan game, and obviously she's picking the Wolverines, too.